Welcome to the Behind the Board on reamping guitar. So we have a guitar direct signal right over here, and we have a guitar reamp track, which we're going to send it to. We're going to send everything out of our interface, our Scarlet interface that we're using, and we're going to plug it into an amplifier, and we're going to capture the sound that's coming out of the amplifier with an SM57 plugged right into the same interface, that same Scarlet interface that we have working now. In order to do that, we have to route for it. So there's a little bit of signal flow here. So right now we have our ins over outs as always. We have monitor 1, 2 as our outputs on our guitar direct. That's going right to our speakers. We don't want to go to our speakers, we want to go to the amplifier in the other room. So let's click on that and go to output, line 3. Perfect. Right now, line 3 in the back of our Scarlet 18i20 will have this signal in it. Next thing we want to set up is coming back in on a guitar reamp track. Remember, ins over outs, we want to be on our ins, and we'll go right into our interface, microphone 1. That's what we will plug in through. Now, one more quick thing before we even get started on this. We need to bring up our mix window here, our mix control for the Scarlet. You could download this from their website. It might come with the software now, I'm not sure, but you could definitely get this online. It'll help you route everything. So here's everything, how it's routed right now. And this is not what we want. This is our line output 3 right here. That's our line out 3. Is going to give us our mix 1 left signal. We don't want that. Let's click on that. And what we want to do is give our DAW 3. So it's going out the back through line 3. So that's a big fix. We need to do that. You'll understand more and more what this means as we do the live video for this as well. We're going to go out the line output at the back of 3. When we do reamping, there's a lot of issues that can occur. One of them is grounding. Grounding is always a pretty bad issue. You can get a lot of buzz, a lot of hum going into the amplifier that you're reamping through. So in order to take care of grounding, just make sure that you're plugged in with your interface, with your computer, and with your amplifier do the same outlet. So you might want to get a power strip or something and go ahead and send them all through the same outlet. You'll still maybe get a little bit of buzz. That could be handled with a reamp box. If you're going to be reamping a lot, it's a good investment to make. It could go ahead and ground that signal a little more and give you a nice clean signal as you go out. All right, so we set our line output 3 to DAW 3. That's what we needed in this window, so we get out of that and bring this one back up. All right, we're going to go to a live video for a while just to show how the signal flow works, so here we go. So here we are, we have all of our routing done inside the computer. Now we want to get out of this interface into my amplifier, which I have in a separate room, which is great if you have 2 rooms separate. You can do it a little separate, make sure your amplifier stays away so you have a little more control over what's coming in here. You won't just hear what's coming out of the amp. So we know that we're going out of the line output 3. On the back of this, you see all of the outputs. Here's your monitor outputs 1 and 2. 3 is all the way over here. We're going to come out of that. So I just plug right into there, make sure it's in nice and tight, and I'm going to take this and plug it into my amp. So we decided for an amp, we're going to use this orange Rock-A-Verb 50. Sounds fantastic and pretty cool amp to go ahead and reamp with. Has a good dirty tone, has a good clean tone. We're on a little bit dirty now, and we'll flip it on. So all I did was take the line out, line 3, put it in here to your input. So we are set up to go ahead and get the sound out of the computer into this amplifier. But now we need to get out of this amplifier back into the computer. So we're going to go use this microphone right here. This is an SM57. Set it up for guitar. So like we said, we want to be right between the cone, which is in the center of the speaker, and the outside perimeter of the speaker. All right, so we're set up, and now we're going to plug in so we can get this signal back out. So we'll plug our microphone in, and we're just going to take a run to the other room and go into one in our interface. One is right in the front on this guy, so I'm just going to go right into the front. Perfect. So what we did is we went out, the line out 3, went into the other room, into the guitar head. We turned it on. We put an SM57 in front of that guitar cabinet so we could capture the sound coming out of it, and we took that signal and plugged it right into one in our Focusrite. So we're going to go out the back in the front here pretty much, and that's how we will reamp. So we're set up here for the reamp to begin with. We're going to do it right off the bat. So we'll click record on our guitar reamp area, and all we need to do is press a record button. I'm going to use F12 for this. Great. And what I'm doing now is I'm getting the signal right, because you don't want a red line with these guys. You'll see you have a signal here. This will start lighting up for you as I adjust the first preamp. When you're in 1, you're on the first preamp, and so on and so on. These are the preamps, and you'll see gain on 1, gain on 2, gain on 3. Once you get out of 1 and 2, the rest are in the back, but we'll understand that pretty well. So I'd like to talk to you while I do this. I'm going to softly close the doors. We have a lot of cables running through, but if we get a quick shot over here, see that everything's in together. This is what I was talking about before. We want to go ahead and have everything plugged into the same place. So I have one little strip here with my amplifier plugged in, with my interface plugged in, and my computer plugged in. So we're only getting one signal of power. You don't want different impedances. It'll give you some grounding issues. So we have it all set up in the same area. All right, let's take a look right around here. We're going to be on channel 1. I want to adjust the gain to get it pretty hot, but not redlining. You don't need to go crazy on this. It doesn't have to be as hot as you can possibly get it. It could be at one of these -6 areas. On this front of this, you could read there's 0, -3, -6, -18, and -42. So we want it loud enough so we could hear it pretty well, but we do not need to blast it. That's a little bit of a rookie mistake there. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and play this back again and adjust the gain knob. Keep your eye on the gain knob in this. See what we're doing. That's about as loud as I would go. We haven't reached a red line at all. And if you do reach a red line, if it starts to look like this, you're in trouble. That signal is too hot. And you can even see in Pro Tools that it's too hot. We're redlining over here too, if you just pan over to that. On our guitar amp, we got red lines going there too. And if I play back, you'll see how hot it really is. It's redlining the whole time. You don't want that. So we'll take the preamp back down a bit. We won't redline on the Scarlet 18 i20, and we won't redline in Pro Tools. And we did our signal properly. And that is reamping. It's that simple. It's a little bit of signal flow, but once you get it, it gets a lot easier. We can go ahead, we can send all sorts of things out. We can send things out to different compressors and stuff if we buy some new stuff. So that's how you get out of Pro Tools into another piece of gear in general. This one is just for reamping a guitar, but you can do this with anything. If you wanted to get your bass drum through a certain compressor, if you have distressors or something, you want to slam that bass drum, you can go ahead and send it out line 3 or 4. You just follow all the things that we just did, and you can get it out and back in. But here is our original guitar direct signal, and here is our guitar reamp signal. We will go back to a in the box video to show you the different sounds between the two of them. And here we are back in Pro Tools. We're going to take a look at that signal before and after the reamping just to see how it worked. We'll listen to the guitar direct first. All right, so that's what we had to begin with. Just make sure you went ahead and put this back to your monitors, otherwise it might not come out. Remember, your ins are over your outs, and your outs should be monitor 1, 2. Let's go to our guitar reamp now and take a listen to that. So great, we turned that into a pretty nice signal. It definitely has that tube sound that we were looking for, everything like that. And that's how we reamp, start to finish. Thanks for being with me on this one. I'll see you on the next one.